Hey guys, what's up? This is Perry. This is my first video for iPokerVIP.net. The series I'm going to be producing for him is called Fish Out of the Water, the Evolution of a Poker Player. I'm going to raise the 18 cents here and fold that. Basically what the series is about is that I am a losing player. I'm not very good. At best I'm break even, but I'm pretty sure I'm a losing player in terms of skill. And I want to change all that. Now this usually suggests he's got to have a big hand. It's depending on how much I've got to pay. 48. I'm getting almost 2 to 1 here. And as long as I've got one overcard of the ace, I should be fine. Actually, my head, wow. Oh, that's a bad card. And he wins that pot. We get aces on the table 2. I'll try and continue what I was saying before. Raising a little bit bigger because one is a short stack on the table, which would suggest to me that he is a fish. And the second is he's open limping under the gun. He's probably going to be calling, probably call a little bit more. Damn, I was hoping he'd call a little bit more, but I would usually raise about. Actually, no, 30's kind of fine in that spot. 36 would probably be too big, so I think 30's fine there. But we get some information. Limp fold under the gun pre-flop with short stack. Mike. Let's have a look here. Neo Brasba, he does call a little wide. And it's aggressive post flop. So I'll be looking to put a little bit more in than usual. But again, he folds unfortunately. This is a board we're not going to be folding on. We've got a lot of draws here, flush draw, overcard, gut shot straight. So it's a case of getting the money in. He does go all in. And we do flop a flush. Did flop 2 pair, so he'll donk, lead out with 2 pair. After flat calling. I'm just going to check if I lose pre-flop. Not the best run, best starting video, I must admit. I completely forgot what I was talking about. But basically it's my journey from becoming a losing player to a winning player. My game of choice is 4-win cash games. The reason for this is because I'm in a 2+2 study thread, which just happens caught the attention of Nathan Williams on PokerStars, who also known as Black Rain 79. If you don't know him, he's played about 5 million hands in the micro stakes, 4 million of that on 2 no limit, 5 no limit. So he wrote a book. He is the #1 winning player of all time in micro stakes, and I believe as the second highest win rate. Double figures, big blinds per 100 hands. I think about 10 big blinds per 100 hands at 2 no limit, and 5 big blinds per 100 hands at 5 no limit. So he gave us the book for free, or some of us for free, and asked us to review it after we were done. So that's why I'm playing 4-win cash games. I did play it before. I'm not very comfortable with 6 max. So just going to fold the queen 3 here. So I'm playing 2 tables at the top here. I haven't really paid much attention to these yet. I will now with the ace king. 2 tables of 6 no limit, 4 ring, and 1 table which I tried to start. I sat on this table first, and I'm trying to start a game. What I found, some information I've listened to before on other sites, on a training video, is that you tend to get fish. I'm going to raise this up to 60. Actually, that was way too small. I probably should have raised that to 70, 75. That's a very small bet by me. I'm going to raise this up to 40. My hand I felt was pretty good in that spot. It was just the position I was in. Bet fold in early position. Pre-flop. that if you sit down on a table, you're likely to get the fish, which is what happened. The first player that came down was Redox, and he came in with about 30 big blinds. And he hasn't played that well, so I can assume that he's a fishy kind of player. 630. He's got over 50 big, he's almost over 100 big blinds here. Problem is I can't guarantee that I'm going to see it for that because of the short stacks. So I'm going to have to let that one go. I would probably call if I knew he was going to call, but because he was short stacked, it's more likely I thought he was going to shove. Taking too much time with the queen ten, so I'll let that go. The only problem I've got with the strategy of starting my own table is that it's taken a while for the table to pick up, and it's kept my focus away from the other two tables, but it seems to have picked up now, and I can focus on the other two as well. So if the first video, you're seeing my natural game. I will admit it's not a great game, but hopefully I think it's a little better than most of the players on this stakes. We're going to raise this up again to 40. Let's just see what notes we got on this guy. Bet fold, that's okay. That's the only note we got. I thought we might have had more. I'm going to raise up the. Oh no. Maybe not, because there's a very loose player in the big blind. So we're getting a bit of information here. Fold it under the gun. Gonna fold the ace 10 there. Pre-flop. Jack 9. Looking at the other three players, they're quite tight, and the big blind seems a little fishy. So I'm going to raise this Jack 9 suited. Probably not the hand I usually raise in this position. It'd probably be slightly later, maybe one position forward. But because of the three players are pretty tight, I'm going to try and exploit as much as I can, getting in position against the fishy player on the big blind. We're going to fold the 9-3 off. 8-3 versus, somehow he got his money with 8-3. So I started with $300 on WSOP Poker. And so far I was up to $315, just over $315. I haven't played too great. There's a couple of spots where I got lucky, a couple of spots where I got unlucky. I think because I haven't played for quite a while regularly, my game's a little rusty. 21, 67, 33. I think ace 9 is more than fine to raise 5-handed. And I think it's going to take me a while just to get back in the swing of things, even though I'm playing only 3 tables. I used to play 4 tables max most of the time anyway. So this is my natural game, and I hope you guys can help out where you think I need to improve. So we hit ace 9 on an a7-5 board. It's quite drawy, so I don't really want to check. He bets out small. I think because of the stack size, I'm more than happy to get it in. I think he would have raised, with a bigger ace. I think it's more likely going to be a draw on this board. Unfortunately, he does fold. King Queen, we're just going to let that go, particularly after the raise from under the gun. We get ace queen on table 3, which is a very big hand, even stronger now that we have only 7 players. Ace 6 suited. Probably just gotta let that go. We actually get the fish that we want. Unfortunately, he's on our left, which is not good for us because it's going to be very tough to get money on him in all positions. He's always got to be in position against us the majority of the time. So we'd raise this again, and we're going to raise Jack 9. Even though the 2 players are pretty loose, our position and my tight game would suggest that I'd be in an advantage against them. We'll raise half pot. It's a very strong board for us, so again we'll be playing for, I think we're going to be playing for stacks on this kind of board. He seems pretty tight so far, but we've only got a small hand range on him. We're going to 3-bet this. It stands to be the better hand, because he is raising a late position. But any other raise afterwards, we're just going to let this go. If we get flat called, we still have to be pretty snug against this guy. We've got quite a few hands on him, 75 hands. He's a 9-8. He's pretty aggressive post-flop as well. So we might have to play a little bit of pot control if we flop like a jack or an ace. I do find that I tend to play the theory quite well, but as soon as I sit down on the table, my mind goes blank. We do get 3-bet by the blinds, 165. We've got no notes on him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in this spot, because he's cold full betting. And just lay his hand down until I know otherwise. I'm sorry this is not the most action-packed video. I say I'm not here for educational purposes. I'm here just to, I guess, an entertaining kind of series, and also maybe to help out other losing players and micro-stakes players, because I know for me, I've been playing poker for 6 years, so it's a bit of a shame really that I can't get any better after 6 years than micro-stakes games. But I know what it's like to sort of want to improve and go, well, where do you start? So I'm hoping the video for losing players gives you like a good foundational, perhaps what you can do to improve. For winning players, well, you can help, if you want, you can help out. Feel free to leave comments. If you want to talk on Skype, give me your Skype names, email addresses. You know, I love to talk about poker, particularly guys who I think has got a better skill level than I have, which is probably most of you guys anyway. And purely for entertainment purposes. You know, watch a donk lose money. I also do a blog on iPoker VIP. So if you check the blog section on the site, you'll notice it. It's called Fish Out of Water. It's going to be mainly about poker, but it's going to be a little bit personal as well. Ace King. So we know one thing now. He does overplay an ace. Ace high. Post flop. Let's see what happened here then. Maybe he committed himself all the way before the turn and river. So sevens raise. So we know that now. So that could be one of the hands he's bet folding, which would be maybe 3-bet. So I think was it this guy that we 3-bet? I think we had 3-bet this guy and he's folded twice against us. Nick, maybe not. So he flops the set. He does raise 78 cents. He don't leads out, and he flat calls. We're going to fold this 6-8 and the 10-jack suited, just bad positions for those hands. We've got pocket nines on table 2 from mid position. I think when he dong leads out, particularly these stakes, I'm just going to let it go. I don't see people donk leading out here without a kind of hand. He might not be a strong hand, but he hasn't got a ton of equity. I guess if he wants to, and it is a 3-bet pot, so it's more than likely he's going to call your raise. And 10 outs, you are going to be a bit of an underdog. So let's have a look at the board here. Just going to standard raise that. So I'm going to maybe make it 4 times big blind. But I don't think so. Just going to fold this. Maybe suited we would call. We get raised by EUFC, who does re-raise 7. Well, no, he bets 7-7 under the gun. He bets 7-7 under the gun. He is short stacked. I think I'm just going to do I flat call and just see a flop. I'm going to flat call. Probably not the most strongest of plays, but then again we've got another play in the pot. So if he calls, I can probably set mine. Unfortunately, we do miss the set, and we're just bad board for us. So just got to let that go. and wasn't paying attention on another hand, so he folded the queen jack, which is a bit annoying because it was only a limp pot. And that's where he should definitely fold. When he shoves in on the river on the turn, he's getting 2-1 to make the call, but he's got, I would say, if he has something like, I don't know, he's hoping he doesn't have ace jack, because that don't take away some of his outs. But if he's got something like queen jack, and he's going over the top of queen jack, he still only has 10 outs, and he's got around about 20% equity. So he needs 33%, around about 33%, not paying attention now to the other tables to make the call. And really he's got like a 4-1 shot, I think. So he's got pocket sevens, so it's not going to be like a shot where he's got the marginal hand. He's drawing absolutely dead to 4 outs. Sorry, he's drawing to 4 outs only, and completely misses. So that's something we can get from Nick. Will overplay ace king / ace high post flop in 3-bet free flop pot. And that's going to make him to be a semi-loose passive. With a replay on that one. I'm going to put him down as yellow. I know they got certain descriptions there, but I don't go with the descriptions on the on the color coding on the software itself. Red for me stands for a nit. Orange stands for a tag reg. Yellow stands for a semi-loose passive. Green will stand for fish, and if I can determine what they are, blue will stand for a loose passive fish, and pink will stand for a maniac or a super fish. Basically, someone that's going to make you can make a lot of money off, raising aggressively with junk hands. I also color code the HUD. I don't know if you guys can see the HUD, but for most of my stats, I base it upon the traffic lights. So green is go, good, yellow is proceed with caution, and red is stop and think. And it kind of helps me determine the kind of players they are. So for example here, I've got a 71, the 15-10, 15 is in between red and yellow. It's just in between. Oh no, it's gone to red. Just got fold the 8-5. It's a 15-9, so he's kind of a nitty kind of player rather than a tag. He's folded to, well, he's only had one opportunity to fold for the continuation bet apparently, and he does tend to continuation bet for the last few hands. He can continuation bet. Just quickly sign back in there. One thing I have problems with this network, 888 network, is it just doesn't feel as intuitive as PokerStars. It doesn't seem to get my attention that certain hands are going. I'm going to raise this up 30 cents. The fact these two are short stacks and haven't, that's a bit of a shame. Would like to flat call the threes. The fact that these guys are limited suggests they're fishes, and also the stack sizes as well. So we're in position. We've got a pretty good potential hand. We get flat called by Beta B. And we do flop top pair, so because of a short stack, we have to commit here. King 8, we're going to raise this up, see if a 3-time big blind bet will do. We're going to make a smaller bet than usual, just to keep him in. It shouldn't really matter that he has a short stack, which he does fold. Jerome, bit of a nit player. Got a lot of hands on him. We do know he can. Oh no, it's not the right player. But I'm not sure if he's positionally aware or not. We're gonna bet out 4 times a big blind, 3 times +1 for limping. He makes a quick call, classic male. He checks out. It's not a bad flop for us to c-bet on. We can usually bet half pot here. because there's not a hell of a lot of draws really in this spot for him. We're gonna, it's very unlikely he's gonna have. Well, he has re-raised, but it's very unlikely he's gonna have like ace 3 or ace 5. It's more than likely here the check min raise. Usually when I say check min raise, it's got to be a monster hand or a very strong hand that they're willing to go broke with. Can check min raise on flop. The fact that he limps in, because he's a 15-15, I'm not quite sure what he's calling with pre-flop. Again, same situation, we're going to raise the 4 times big blind with ace king. We get flat call by only LG. Seems like a loose passive player at the time. It's not a good board for us to c-bet on, particularly the fact we've got 2 players in. And he does bet out, so we're just going to let go of the ace king and move on to the next hand. And we get ace queen suited this time. So we're going to raise the 4 times big blind because we're going to be more likely out of position. So it does sort of, the more we can get in pre-flop, the less positional advantage a guy can have if they're in position. Ace jack. Again, it's be a raising situation again. Even if they raise me, I know I've raised 4 times in a row now, but even if they re-raise me, I'm just going to let this go. Min raise. Maybe not to a min raise. I might flat call here because he's giving me very good odds. I know that means he's got likely got a very large hand. I hope it's not aces, but he might do this. I say he could probably do this jacks, kings, queens, tens. So if we flop a good hand on the flop, then we can carry on. But we miss completely, so we're just gonna let that go. I think there's also grounds just to let go pre-flop, but say with such good odds, I'm not gonna truly commit myself with a jack or an ace if he starts raising into me. I'm just going to check the queen 10 off, and we do flop a pair, top pair, so it's pretty strong. Since this was a limp pot, I'm going to raise it just over half. Hit 1 fold, we get 2 folds. Don't mind taking the pot down. Just going to put onto him the yellow, indicating it's a semi-loose passive. So I'm just going to fold the 10 jack. Sorry, it was out of position. 4-5 suited. From now on, I'm going to be looking at the dealer button and base myself on the blinds. I think I'm going to be calling in this spot. The reason being is it's very unlikely these two are going to be raising. If they do, I can easily fold. And EUFC is going to be coming into the pot for sure. And we can see a flop. What's going here, he's got ace. We do flop an open-ended straight draw on the rainbow board. He bets out 6. I'm just going to flat call. Let's see if we can get EUFC to keep carrying on as well. I'm thinking if he bets a little bigger, even though I might not have the odds here to call, in terms of pot odds, I might call because I think I could get him to I think good implied odds if I hit, which we do, and we hit the best side of it. We now have the nuts. He bets out 6, so I'm wondering if he has a king. I'm going to raise this about $1.05. I think that seems to be a good bet. Not substantial bet, but not too big. I don't think pot will do. If he shoves over the top, that's great, but he doesn't. I think that's a good enough call. And he only does it with ace jack. That's a bit surprising. I don't understand his flop bet. I'd raise you know, mind you, you get that a lot in the micro stakes. That they raise minimum for some reason. But he lets in so many hands to chase the. We're going to raise the pocket fours. I say even though he bet on the turn good enough that I didn't have odds, I felt my employed odds were pretty good here because I felt that he did have an ace. He bets very tiny, which means we can go for a set mine here, but we completely miss. He checks. We can check in this position. I'm injecting. He now bets out. I'm going to make a flat call in this spot. Unfortunately, that's a bad card for us, and we're forced to fold in this position. The reason being is that it's possible he's doing this with ace king, ace jack kind of hand. I think a small bet like that we probably would have called again if the board didn't pair. So not doing too well on this table, $1.05 down, but I'm up $2.03 here, and I'm up $1 here. So we've got about half a stack. So yeah, up half a stack on these tables. I'm trying to get used to my HUD because I don't use a lot of HUD stats before. I'm still not actually using them now. I'm not used to sort of looking at the stats. Ace Queen is a easy raise. We raise at the 4 times big blind, it's our position. I'm looking at the people I'm going to be in the blinds with here. On table 2, I'm going to be probably raising any 2 cards now in an attempt to steal their blinds. King 8-3, it's a good board for us to c-bet. Okay, I'm only going to bet half pot. If he calls, we're probably just going to let it go. Unless, say, a third diamond comes down, in which case we might try and make a small bet in order to see if free river card. Hopefully flat calls instead of raises. So on this table, yeah, I'm going to try and raise, and I see probably 3 times big blind, but I might just see if a 2.5 times big blind raise will work on these guys. Ace 10. I'm probably just going to let that go in the position we're in. It's probably got a lot of reverse implied odds. It's got to either win a small pot or lose a big one. It's got to get called by a lot of hands that dominate us. Here, oh, no, it doesn't matter. I'm saying if he limps him, we're going to bet. And if he raises, it's a bit of a decision because he's a pretty tight player. So we will put a note of that. Can fold small blind versus big blind against me with tag stats. FRCG flop. So if he raises, we know he's going to have some kind of hand. We can adjust to our hand raise to him. Pair of kings on table 2. I'm just going to check the king 6 here. We do get min raised. Based on his stats, I think that's actually a pretty big hand. So I'm going to re-raise to 4 times big blind. He makes a. I'm just going to bet here, half pot, and hope he'll continue. So again, keep just barreling and hope he'll get it in the end. I think now the base for the stack, he's going to cool down, and as you see, he called with bottom pair on the flop, which is why I kept barreling. Micro stakes players generally will give any excuse to want any excuse to call, any excuse to call. Sorry, and with his kind of stats, absolutely. I'm surprised he made a call with ace deuce. He must have thought that was a pretty big hand, but as I say, he's a micro stakes player, so he must have looked at ace deuce suited and thought that was a monster. So there's no you might slow play in higher stakes to set on that kind of board. Maybe bet check on the turn. But so if he hits a piece of that board, chances are with his stats he's got to carry on. So we'll bet call in late in Didabun against big blind with ace deuce suited. We'll call HP bet on king deuce X on king 5 deuce board. With bottom pair and slow play trip twos to HP bet. Just going to fold the ace 9 there. I think there's possibly betting or folding. I don't like flat calling that kind of hand. It does have a lot of potential because it's out offsuit. So, and actually, come to think of it, I'm going to put him down as a. Oh, that's not. Which one was it? I've even forgotten which hand it was on now. Here we go. We'll put him down as definitely a fish. I'm not sure if he's a loose passive or just aggressive. But I'm showing a profit, which is nice to show on the video. I know it's not the most articulate video I've ever done, but this is kind of off the whim. I was meant to be doing my first video on Sunday, but I put a bit of spare time. And I thought I'd, oh, what am I doing? Quickly. I thought I would do a video now. Unfortunately, I was probably going to bet out if he folded, but he's raised first, so I just got to let that go. So 75 cents down here. So not a bad little session so far. I know I was talking about position, dealing a bunch of blinds, and that I'd be raising any two cards really on this board, table 2. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen and saying this board, thinking that you can see it. Table 2 I'll probably be raising any two cards. I know I said that, I don't know if I've been doing it. Aces, very nice. Maybe a little bit more selective on table 1, but still pretty wide. And table 3, again, same old thing. Split pot limps in, raised by plastic melt. Now I'm going to flat call this. I think it's just because I want to get this, the main fish in the pot, which is split pot got. Plastic mail also has a nice stack. I don't want to free bet here and possibly get split pot got out. It's a 75-0, but only 16 hands. Again, we flop a set because that's how we roll. And it's a pretty good chance actually that we might. Plastic might have an ace. Split pot got might have an ace. So I might slow flat call again, making it look like I've got a flush draw. They both flat call. Now it's a very drawy board, so I'm going to be raising to protect my hand. I'm going to raise this to 148. I say if he goes all in, I'm going to call. He's got 4-5, he's got 4-5, but it's possible that he has 2 pair. And that's a great card for us to see at the end. He might have 2 pair or just an ace. Again, half pot bet. If he goes all in, obviously we'll call. If he's got 4-5, well, maybe that's what I get for playing a little bit too sneaky. But you know, ace 6, ace 7, ace 3, ace queen, they're definitely in his range. Maybe even a set himself. But from looks of it, looks like he has a weak ace. And he turns over ace 4. There we go. So I think we got as much as I could out from that. I got a little bit more, seeing as I kept that other player in. I'm going to raise here to take initiative, take position, to isolate the fish. Even though I've got 7-3 here, I don't know if I want to raise, just because this guy, by limping in, shows that he's a fish. I'm going to put that down, and he's probably got to be calling wider range, so 7-3 just doesn't work on that board. He overbets shoves. We've got an overcards plus a flush draw, so I'm more than happy to get it in against this guy. He might just have only have top pair, which he does. Unfortunately, he hits 2 pair, and then a full house on the river. So that's a bit of a shame. Overbet, pot, on flop with top pair, we go for kicker, and call overshove. I don't think it was based on the fact that I shoved that he didn't think I had a strong hand. I mean, most players at these micro stakes have no clue what you're doing, and don't know how to adjust if they do. It was likely that he had top pair, but it was, because the way he's playing, it's very likely he was going to be marginal. And if we look at that previous hand and check on the that's wrong one. We check on the poker stove. So I was probably ahead on that board. I'm pretty likely I'm ahead on that board. I'm going to limp here with the intention of trying to get in with split pot gold with a nice little hand that could set mine. Let's have a look at that. Down here, King Jack. So if we get a poker stove up, I don't have poker stove on this. I swear I've got poker stove on this. Just gotta follow that. Oh, okay. That's a little bit annoying. I don't really want to pause the video. Just make sure I haven't got it on there. No, I'm very surprised by that. Mind you, I had to, from this end, though, you can tell that I've got any spade, any king, and any jack on that board. So that's 15 outs. So 60% take away 7. So it's about 53% around about. So I've got a slight advantage to this board. And so even though he hits a 10 now, any spade other than the 10 of spades and any queen will help me to win the pot as well. And any 8 as well with a straight. So I had plenty of outs on that board. I was more than happy to get my money in the pot against him. I don't think Jack 10 is going to be a strong hand for him against my range. If I'm just going to get it all in with him. It is very strange how different the stats are on the tables. I'm playing very nearly on the table 1. We're 11-11. 1. Playing taggish game, 18-14-3 on table 2, and on table 3, I'm 35-29-5. And it just shows the difference, really. I think it's who I'm playing against. Split pot's going in with a lot of hands pre-flop, so I'm trying to raise him and get my money in against him. Try and play as many pots as I can against this guy. I've got a fish now on table 2, so I might be increasing my my play on that table. Whereas on this one, not really a fish on this kind of table. To my right, it's kind of standard stats, really. I haven't been able to see exactly how they play because I'm trying to focus on 3 different tables and try and talk to you guys, which I haven't done for a while. But I'll definitely go through a hand history session review and see what I come up against with certain players. Because amazingly, you only have about 8 or 9 or 8 to 10 tables on WSOP Poker, even at micro stakes for this kind of for 6-no limit anyway. So there's quite a few people I regularly see. It's nice to see how they play. and exploit them later on. I say still up down at 80 cents here, $6.40 and 2.66. So it's around about 3.9, about $8.20. So up over, well over a stack up, which is quite nice. It's always nice to start off with a profit on your first video. Oh, ace queen versus sixes. Again, I missed that. And the fact that he limps in, and we know he will limp fold under the gun, I'm going to raise the ace 4 suited. I'm in position, which helps if he calls. If he re-raises over the top, then we can easily fold. And we know he limps folds a lot anyway under the gun, so he's easily as likely to limp fold here. Though he might call because of the second player. A7 king. It is a board I have to c-bet because I have actually hit my ace. I'm going to raise a little bigger to kind of protect my hand because it's quite a drawy board. If I get played back at raised, there's an easy fold. He limps queen queen. Well, I can't take that for certain. Because I know he called a 6 times BB bet previously after it was an overcall as well with queen 10 suited. So I know he's calling with a lot worse than queen queen. That's for sure. It's certain. Hopefully my video making skills get better as I continue on with this. Currently I'm using free software actually called BB Flashback Express. I highly recommend using this software if you think about making your own videos. I've used it now for a few years and I find it the most reliable. I know Cam Studio is meant to be pretty good, but I do find that unreliable. And I do have free software by a company called Jetico. They've given me free license of their Camtaker software. So I'll give that a go, but so far I found that pretty unreliable. I'm going to free bet this. The reason why I don't really want to get any more callers in, and I do believe this could be the best hand against this guy's range, shoving in under the gun. If I get called or played back at, then it's an easy fold. Unfortunately, the short stack has also gone in, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm just going to have to call this and probably have lost us a bit of money here. And we do lose some money there. We're going to raise up the King 10 off on the dealer button. So we couldn't fold in that spot when he gone all in because of how little we had to call. So the ace 3 is 4 to 3 hearts. It's a board again. It's very unlikely he's got to hit anything here, but he does make a very quick call. My view is he's probably going to be doing this with a king high flush draw or an ace. So, we do flop a river a 10, but he does shovel in, and that pretty much says he's got that big hand. So it's an easy fold now. So we ended up showdown value, I guess, on the river, but I don't think he would have made that corner flop without an ace, or at least a king high flush draw. We've got aces on the table 3. I'm going to raise this the 48. Usually I raise it 4 times big blind, but I've got a very big hand, so I wouldn't mind some action. And unfortunately he does fold. So he can raise under the gun. Fold under the gun pre-flop. Knee. Here's the knight that says knee. I don't know how these people that do these videos professionally do it. I know, mind you, they know general theory much better than I do. Because he raises small, I imagine he'll raise. I can raise 3 times instead of 4 times and get him to fold. I guess I go over certain concepts and know what to talk about. So I think next time I do these videos, I'm gonna have a structure. Let's fold the 5 deuce. I think what I'll do another 10 minutes, and then we'll see how much I made on Poker Tracker. And actually, no, we'll do 5 minutes and look at the biggest winning hands, biggest losing hands quickly. A7, nitty players, so A7 is definitely raising this spot. Oh, the fish is gone. Well, it wasn't a fish. Loose passive player, slightly little fish has gone. Let's go flag call this. So just because we've got a fish who's just limped in. Oh, actually 5-3 would have been a hand. I don't know actually, because of the play on big blind's quite loose. And mind you, he folds to a lot of free bets, C bets. Mind you, he's only done it once apparently. Sorry, now I'm just mumbling to myself. I've got to stop doing that in the other videos. I do refrain from mumbling to myself in live poker. I do have that talent. I don't talk about my hands in live poker. God-given skill, that. So this is my natural game. If you've noticed anything wrong about it, yeah, leave a comment or contact me via my email address. It should be on the site somewhere. If not, you can't find it. It's perry@ipokervip.net. That's my email address. So send me your views on that video. So if you want to add me on Skype, send me an email and with your Skype name on it. And I'll chat with you guys if you guys are playing poker. If you guys play poker, or if you want to talk about general theory, I'll talk about it as well. Or if you just want someone to rail you on tournaments, I'm more than happy to do that. I do enjoy watching other people play and chatting about hands they've previously played. You don't have to pay me for it either. You don't have to give me a cut of the winnings. That's how generous I am. Oh, what am I doing? King 9. That's not bad. That's fine. It's my instant tightness wanting to play there. Just wanted to hit the fold button. Tight player in the blinds. We can pretty much steal those. It's not a bad hand really in that position. We do get flat call by Yamorkov, Queen 10-5. We've got some equity. We've got a jack will make us a straight. My king might be good. We do hit a 9, but it's a diamond, which is nice. Oh, we get a walk as well. So if he bets out again, we're just going to let this go. That was a very, very awkward board that any card that improves our hand still might be behind his hand. Demlin is in position on us on all 3 tables. It's probably not a good thing because he looks like on one table he's played 80 hands here and he's at 14-6. I wouldn't think he'd be. I wouldn't think I was the fish in this table. So maybe it's the other players on my right. But it's not nice having that kind of player on your left. So 15-6 with 84. So we'll put the down on him actually. He seems quite a nitty sort of player. Ace 9 suited on Table 3, what I'll do, I'll take off the post blinds on that table, and probably on table 1 as well, and table 3. They all in a pretty good position to see some free hands. 31.20, 24 cents. We know he bet folds a lot, so I'm going to raise this up. I think that actually does beat his range, and he's going to fold a lot more hands than ace jack and that, however he calls. That's likely to hit the range of hands that he might call with. Let's say he shoves all in, and we just fold that. Oh, pressed the wrong button there. I might just saying that it's probably our last hand there. What I'll do after I've done these tables, I'll quickly look at what we've made on the main window of this site, and then pause the video, download PokerStove, and see our equity on some of these hands. Well, I'm not going to be looking to get into pots now. I just want to look for some relatively good hands in the position and not get into too much trouble. And that's us done on this table. So we'll move this up here. Queen 4. With the 3 players sitting out, it means we are next, so we're going to sit out on this one. Make this a little bit big. Oh. Yay! What status is that? Status bar on the right. What's this? Oh, it's on the main window. So I'm no longer blue. I wonder what colour I am. King 5, easy fold. This is going to get very boring now. I'm hoping I get kings or aces, just to make a bit more profit at the end. I'm not greedy, jacks will do. Jacks will do fine. I think what I'll do a quick hand history session on the biggest and winning and losing pots in these kind of videos, but on the hand history review session videos, I'll check the pots for 20 to 40 big blinds. Because in my view, a bad player is a guy that will lose most of his all-ins, a good player is a guy that will win most of his all-ins, and a great player will know how to win the 20 to 40 big blind pots as well. I think that's what boosts your red line. As long as you're getting winning all your all-ins, generally you'll be making profit. But I think to really have a good win rate, you need to know how to play those medium-sized pots as well. And that means taking pots which people don't want to seem to be take, like the passive ones. Exploiting your opponents in every way you can. Attacking passivity. And basically just being a boss on the tables, I guess. Come on, fold. And he folds as well. So on the final hand, and we have aces. Oh, bugger. That's actually a hand. That's tricky. But we'll raise. 4 times a big blind. If we get 3-bet, like so, I'm just going to fold this. I mean, he's a 75-50, but he's only played 4 hands. We don't know if he's doing this just because he has a massive hand. It's very likely he can be doing this with a massive hand. If he knows the guy's raising under the gun, it's likely he's going to be calling with a lot of hands. I wouldn't be surprised if he has aces or kings in this spot. So we'll just let this go and take our small profit there and finish this. So for this table, we were $315. Were we 315? No, we were more than that. 319. Oh, maybe it didn't make that much. Oh, we're now iron status, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to pause the video and download PokerStove, and we'll look at some of the biggest hands. Okay, so I've got PokerStove up now, and just quickly do the filter onto playing today's hands. And we'll look at the biggest winning hands and the biggest losing hands. So the biggest winning hand obviously was ace-ace. We got it 3 times. And we won $5 on these hands. So let's have a quick look at this. We also show the HUD, which is pretty cool. So we can look at the stats of the players. And we'll just quickly adjust it. So that'll do. We can have a look at our hands. So we've got ace-ace. Olympian by split pot got. He's the fish on the table. Plastic male raises. Now he's probably doing what I'm doing. That's isolating the player who's Olympian, the big fish on the table. And I can free bet this. And it's probably right to free bet this in general. But because I don't want to free bet and get the fish out, because I know the plastic male is probably good enough to fold when I free bet. I like to just flat call. Table's relatively tight, so I don't imagine too many calls and overcalls. Even better if someone 4 bets. 3 bets, sorry. And split pot does call. And we do flop a set. It's a relatively good board for us. There is a flush draw to worry about, but there's very little straight draws, I imagine. Unless you've got 4 or 5, everything else is got, if you've got 4 or 5, it's the only opening straight draw possible. So Plastic Man makes a continuation bet, and it's probably right to do that. I mean, it's likely that he can represent an ace on this board, and as I said, it's not a 2-draw board. So I like to flat call just to keep split pot, give a chance for him to stay in. And he calls. So there's a possibility that someone has an ace in this board. Split pot got checks, Plastic Male checks. At this point, I need to protect my hand. Now it's a very drawy board. You've got 2 flush draws, 6, 7. It's possible someone might have an open-ended draw now, along with a flush draw. So I need to bet. I don't want to bet too big, so I can't really bet pot because I want to keep split pot got in, particularly if he's got the ace. So I bet in 148. Which isn't that bad looking for a flush draw with the stacks that he has. Unfortunately, he does call. It's 521. I could have perhaps bet pot, but I think he would have folded because he's either missed the draw or he's got a weak ace or something like a 6, and he doesn't think I have an ace. So again, I bet half pot just to entice him to call, hoping that he has something like a weak ace. Or to come over the top of me. If he's got 4-5, he's got 4-5, but everything else I beat, it's very unlikely to be 4-5. So he does make the call, and turns over ace-4, so he has a weak ace. And I think we get as much as we can out of this pot. Next big winning hand seems like kings. We win $4.40, just over 2/3 of a stack. Wait for the HUDs to come up. We can carry on. So Damien Femlin folds, Pussy folds, Former Zone folds, comes to EUFC who folds. Alexandro min raises. Generally when I see someone min raises, it's 2 things. It's either they got a weak hand and they're just trying to take initiative by min betting, or they actually have a big hand. Based upon his stats, he's a 29-14, so he's very loose, but he also calls way more than he bets. So the fact that he min bets in the late position, I thought meant he would have a big hand, or at least the hand he's willing to go a lot with. So pocket kings, just quickly get back to the main bit. So I raise, and I raise slightly larger than usual, 4 times big blind. Because we don't have a lot of hand to him, I don't think he's going to. We can't really bet say 60 or 72 and hope he calls, but I think he's shown enough to suggest that he's quite a loose player. And he does flat call. And we flop a sec because we're just lucky. And instead of slow playing this particular spot, I want to carry on betting out. Because if he has a hand that he's willing to go with, I think he's at least going to call on this board. At least one street. And if he hits any kind of piece of this board, I reckon he'll carry on because the pot's going to get a little big. With these players who are quite loose passive, they want an excuse to call. So a flush draw, maybe like a straight draw with an ace 3 or ace 4. Say just a high flush draw, something like that, or even the king, just a 5 even. I think they'll carry on. So we get a flat call. The turn comes a deuce. He checks again. Sorry, I bet out, and he flat calls again. And the river's a blank, really, on this kind of board. Unless he's got something like king 10. And we just we shove him in. So he's getting fairly good odds to call wherever he had. If he had a king, he's definitely calling. And turns over ace deuce, which is pretty much shows what I was trying to say. That these guys, if they connect onto the board in any way, they'll keep calling down, and that's what we've got to try and exploit. So unless there's a good reason why I'm going to be slow playing, mainly I'm going to be raising pretty aggressively when I do pairs. So that was the second biggest hand. We'll go to the losing hands now and see what I could have done with these. The biggest losing hand was King Jack suited. Now on this one, I raised to isolate split pot. This was the hand straight after the big pot loss he had. So I get flat called on 2 streets. I didn't actually know his only LG was in the hand, so that was a bit weird. But he does check. An overpot bet by 84. Now, I notice a lot of times this is usually going to be a big made hand, probably top pair. And it depends really on the stats of the player. Because he's a 76-0 after 17 hands, it would suggest to me that he's probably got top pair, but it's going to be marginal. I've seen it so many times where they don't have ace-9 on this board. So I'm more than happy to get my money in against this guy. I had no idea this guy was in it, which makes this a pretty bad raise, I think. I think I could have raised this like to $2.50. But even if he does call, I'm not going to be in too bad a shape, I don't think. He does call split pot calls in terms of a 9-10, and actually it's 51%, so I'm a slight favourite. It's 50-50. Even when he hits 2 pair, I've got 32% equity in this board. But it does intrigue me what kind of hand I would have put him on. As I said, a lot of marginal 9s. I don't think we would have done it with ace-9. So anything from queen 9 suited down to 8-7. No, sorry, not that one. 9-7. Something like that. Definitely a lot of the offsuit 9s. Maybe some flush draws. I think any kind of ace-high flush draw you would have done that with. So I don't think he would have limped him with ace-king. I think he would have raised the ace-king there. So any kind of ace-x suited. And I'm not quite sure what I'll do with these actually. We'll try that again. Turn these ones off. So that kind of board. That's fine. I think that's kind of like the hands I'd put him on. And maybe some kind of yeah, no, I'm going to stick with that. Outside, King Jack suited. I don't know why I put him on hearts, actually, now that I think about it. It's spades, not hearts. So take those off. And say on that kind of board, we've got like 62% equity of every hand that he has in that board. I think. Well, I don't think he would have done that with a set. I don't think he would have done that with 2 pair. And I say ace 9 is probably not in it, I guess. So it's got to be marginal hands, and I think with my hand we're in massive favour on this board, based on the hands he could have. So I think that's just bad luck there. We're going to do the last hand because that took a long time. The second biggest hand from the looks of it. $1.66. So we didn't have too bad of a losing session really on this one. Yes, here we go. So he shoves all in for 40 cents under the gun, and despite that, I think he's going to be doing that with so many hands. It's probably like a tilt shove. I could fold this, and I think I got every right because I've got so many players behind. But I think that if I 3-bet this, I'm only going to get called by someone with a monster hand, and I can easily fold. I'll say I'm up for the session, so I can take this kind of risk. So I raised $1.10, nothing too big. Unfortunately, I was going to fold to any 3-bet. Unfortunately, the guy who calls me, shoves me, gives me 5-to-1 odds. So if he turns his hand up and shows jacks, I have to call because I've got 30% equity, 27% equity. So I've got just over a 3-to-1 odd, 3-to-1 chance. I'm a 3-to-1 underdog, sorry, but I'm getting 5, almost 6-to-1 odds. So I make the call and we book out, and he turns it hits his 6 anyway. So I'm not going to win every bit of money, but if I hit a king, I would have been in him for a good amount. And lose a pot there. So we'll stop there now because I'm rambling on, and the video's getting quite large. I hope you enjoyed this. I promise. I hope that I can make a better structured video for next time. But I hope you enjoy watching this. Keep watching the future videos. Good luck at the table, guys, and thanks for watching.